Fees. Speaking is great. I love being able to speak English. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Heather. If you do know who I am, then you already know that my name is Heather, so welcome back. This week I've got a video for you guys that I said I would do a long time ago, but I'm just getting around to it now, and that is an anxiety related video. For those of you who don't know, I have anxiety. I was diagnosed with anxiety in the 3rd grade and I just graduated, so I've been dealing with it for a long time, and I know that it's something that a lot of people deal with, so you guys wanted to see this, so I was like, why not? Let's do it. And before I even get into this, I just need to make it clear that obviously I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I am just going to share what's worked for me, my experiences with anxiety, and maybe it'll benefit you, maybe it won't. Every person is different, but I just thought I would make this video. So yes, like I said, I was diagnosed in the 3rd grade, so I've been dealing with it for a long time. And there are many things that have worked for me throughout the years to sort of calm myself down and help myself deal with the anxiety. And I'm not really going to be talking about panic attacks in this video, but I do suffer from those from time to time. So if you want a separate video about that, I can definitely do that. But today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips, 5 things that helped or help me deal with my anxiety. So let's get started. So my first technique is something that I've been using for a really long time, and it's something that really helps me, and it's a grounding technique called the 5 senses technique. So if you haven't heard of this, basically what it is a technique which you use when you're in an anxiety-inducing situation that you can't really escape from and you're feeling very anxious. It's something to sort of help you be aware of your surroundings and focus on something different. So basically what you do is you find 5 things that you can see in the room that you're in or the area that you're in. Then you find 4 things that you can feel, so touch. Then you find 3 things that you can hear. And then 2 things that you can taste, and 1 thing that you can smell, or like these 2 might be switched. I don't exactly remember, but basically it sort of helps you to focus on something other than your anxiety and helps you to remind yourself that you're safe, you're going to be okay, you're in a situation that's completely normal, there's normal things around you that you can see and touch and hear and smell and taste and all that stuff. So that's a very helpful technique for me. My second piece of advice, which I use even before I feel anxious, if I'm just in new surroundings and there's a possibility that I could start feeling anxious and feeling an anxiety attack coming on, is to find an escape. So when I say enter a situation where I'm not super comfortable, I'm not super used to it, I will first find a way for me to get out of it if needed. And obviously this isn't super great to have to leave, and you shouldn't let your anxiety take over everything. But sometimes, even if you don't use it, it's good to have an idea of how you could get out of the situation if things get really bad. So I definitely do this all the time if I think that I'm in a situation where anxiety could possibly arise. So yes. My third piece of advice is to talk to someone. And I know this may seem like something that you don't really want to do and you just want to isolate yourself, but ultimately what's best for you is to talk to someone, whether that be a mental health professional or even just a friend or a parent. It can be super helpful to talk to them and get your feelings out. I still stand by the best decision that I ever made was to go see a psychologist. I went to a psychologist from the ages of 10 to 13 maybe, and I could probably still benefit from it now because it's so important to talk about how you're feeling. Even if you don't have anxiety, talking about what you're feeling inside is really, really important, and not keeping it all bottled up because that can be really, really detrimental. So yes, definitely talking to someone, whoever it may be, can help your anxiety and ease your anxiety a little bit. My fourth piece of advice for you guys to cope with anxiety is to distract yourself. Now, obviously, this won't always work. Panic attacks come and you can't really stop them. But if you are able to distract yourself from your anxiety, that can be really, really helpful. So say you're in a situation where you're feeling anxious. Try to do something that will ease that, whether that be talking to someone, watching a funny video, etc., etc. Something that I like to do when I'm feeling anxious is to just sort of go on my phone, which is not always possible, obviously, but if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling really anxious, I sort of just pull out my phone, go on Instagram or something, so that I can focus my attention on something other than the anxiety. Like, this isn't the best, but I would tend to get very anxious in class, and obviously it's not good to not pay attention, but for a second I would just go on my phone to sort of distract myself from my anxious feelings, and that would usually help quite a bit. So my fifth and final piece of advice for dealing with anxiety is using a breathing method, because often when people are having anxiety or having panic attacks, it's hard to breathe properly, and it can really help you to sit there and focus on your breathing. When I was younger, and I was dealing with anxiety, I'd lay down on my bed and put something on my stomach and then watch it as I breathed. That was a technique that my psychologist taught me, so that's something. But a new technique that I found recently that has been helping me, I found from a Rose and Rosie video where they talked about anxiety, and that is the 4-7-8 method, which is basically where you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold that for 7 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. And it just really helps you to focus on your breathing, which can bring your anxiety levels down, and that is something that has been helping me lately. But just any breathing technique that works for you is very helpful. All right, so that is my 5 pieces of advice for coping with anxiety. If you have any other questions, please leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them. So now let's get on to comment of the week. This week's comment of the week is by Dylan Dunn, and it says, "Your room is really nice, Heather. You are an amazing person. Thank you for being yourself. I love your videos. I subscribe to you, and you are a really kind and beautiful girl." And I just wanted to say thank you so much for this sweet comment and these nice words. This was on my room tour video, and it was a really sweet comment, and I just wanted to appreciate it. And thank you all for leaving me such sweet comments all the time. You are all so great. If you'd like to be in next week's comment of the week, please leave something down below and maybe I will choose you. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any other video suggestions, please comment them down below, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye guys!